family. Welcome back to the Love Always Wins podcast. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. As always, I'm joined by...
Hello, people. I am your girl, Katrina Montez Dowdell. Welcome back to another episode of the Love Always Wins podcast. As usual, we have a great show for you today, a special show. I say special because I refer to this special guest as my sunshine number 2.
Oh, yes.
Woo! So I can say so much about him, but I want him to come on and introduce himself. So welcome to the show, Derion Tyrell Felton. Woo!
Hello.
Hi, Derion.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Sunshine number 2.
Hi.
So, Derion, as you can see, Derion is a student of Norfolk State University. Behold the green and gold out of Norfolk, Virginia. Woo! And you are a theater student.
Yes.
Yay.
Yay.
The theater.
Yes.
Mhm.
So tell the audience about yourself, Derion.
Hello, I am a junior drama and theater major at Norfolk State University. I am going into my second semester of being a junior here, and I've had a pretty great experience learning new things, learning my body, learning the history of theater and what I really want to instill into the industry once I get to that level.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's
So
gonna make it. He's gonna be great.
Yes.
That boy is good. He's good.
He good. So you wanted to go ahead and ask Derion the questions that we ask all of our guests.
Yeah.
Okay.
Derion,
Mhm.
what are some of the opportunities that you have taken advantage of to get you to where you are?
Referring to Norfolk State or just opportunities I've had since I was young, growing up?
All opportunities.
All opportunities.
Yeah, all opportunities.
I've had the benefit of being around a lot of creative people. So my older brother, Keion, was was into acting before me. So I remember him taking acting lessons and me seeing and watching him do improv and do plays in high school, and that always interested me. My oldest brother, Keion, is into dance. He's a professional dancer, and actually recently did a workshop at the Kennedy Center.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Just talent all around you.
Yeah. So I was always into art and into writing as well. I love telling stories.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I began to listen to more music, I loved writing poetry and telling stories from different perspectives. Always was like captivating to me because I could relate to anything somebody else was going through, and I had the empathy for them. And as I'm learning how to become a better actor, I'm learning that people with the most empathy are the best actors because they know how to relate to people and control their emotions.
Empathy, huh?
Yes.
Nice. Well, let me tell you something. Last night, I saw this young man dance for the first time. And, you know, I'm dealing with my own health issues with recovering from the stroke and the
Seizures, epilepsy.
So my dancing feet are gone for right now. But when I watched him dance, I was inspired to dance. It was like I was dancing with him. How long have you been dancing?
I haven't been trained at all, but I've been in small things. So I was in this program called Summer Stars, which was in Massachusetts. It was originally a Britney Spears, a Rising Stars camp.
Oh, wow.
That you had to get recommended for. So I did that around people from the inner city of Boston and New York. And it was a 1-week workshop for different programs from acting to poetry to dancing. And I took the African dance lesson 1 year and the hip hop dance lesson another year. And like I said, oldest brother always did choreography. So I would watch him and see how his creative process was. But I mean, being around Black people, we just are naturally gifted in rhythm, so it's always been instilled in me.
So just a natural.
Yeah, natural, but I'm still learning.
Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Look like you are learning and paying attention to everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like you took us on a journey last night through all the different genres of dance.
Yeah, and that little that cheerleader kick move, I forget what it was, but this dude jumped so high and touched them feet, all them limbs was everywhere. So that was the opportunities you taken advantage of. What would you say were some of the obstacles you had to overcome in life in general?
I think I had to overcome feeling watched when I was performing.
Wow.
I think as you get older, you become more self-conscious. Instead of when you're younger, you're free to do anything you want because you're not looking for validation from anyone. But as you're literally on stage with a director, with other actors who are doing the same thing as you, it's inevitable for you to have that in the back of your mind when you're first starting. But at this point, I'm just trying to do what's best for me. And even the roles I pick, when I pick them, I'm trying to keep in mind, like, is this honoring God? And I pray before each scene.
Oh boy.
And
you keeping your weight? You good?
Yeah. So I've just been trying to get out of my head with everything I do and just go and try.
Yeah. So, I have been amazed at your growth of watching you in dance and acting and just taking advantage of everything that you have the opportunity to do. So I always like to know and hear about what role or what character can you identify the most from what you've played so far?
Definitely the most recent character I've played, which is Anger from Thoughts of a Color Man. I relate to almost every character in that play, but Anger specifically because of his basketball background and I guess how much passion he has for everything he says in the play. And you really see that each character is not really that emotion. It's in the forefront is what you see the main emotion they have, but really he's like battling depression and battling a lot of a passion he has for the children that he's coaching. But I also feel like I connect to the character in the whole play as a whole because of the poetry aspect in it. Every monologue has different levels of poetry, whether it's slam poetry, whether it's like just poetry without rhyme, but the whole cadence of the play is built in poetry.
That's awesome because that made me think about another thing that you're interested in, which is poetry, which is writing, which is speaking. And you told me before that you were working on a book. And how was that? And what inspired you to do that?
What inspired me to do it is that I initially wanted to have a collection of poems and present it to the world. I was trying to find some type of way to do that in a creative way that wasn't just going to get looked over. So storytelling was a big base when I started. And then I think I was introduced to a poetry book, which I'm trying to find the name of right now, but it's by Clifton Powell. No, not Clifton Powell. It starts with a C though, and he was a poet from Harvard University. Is a black man, and then it was another book called The Crossover, and it was a book about basketball. This kid playing basketball, but there was poetry woven into each chapter. So I was like, I want to do something like that, and so I started on that recently, on the novel portion of it, but the poems are already set in line to what I need to do.
So when can we expect that project to be complete?
I don't have a date for it, but I'm just working on it, trying to work on it each day. That's my goal, especially this year.
All right.
Yeah.
I wish you all the best with that.
Yeah.
But I want to say something about your character in the play that you did, that really spoke to me because I deal with a lot of anger because when I had my stroke, it was trying to do my best to uh, help the kids that I was working with. And, even now, it's not that I'm yawning, it's like I have the energy is zapped from my body.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So you were able to identify with his character?
Yes, very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other question that we ask to our guests is about your support systems, because we're huge believers in support system. My book, Masters of Resilience, talks about the importance of support systems, and his book that's coming out, Jake Stroke of Genius, also talks about the importance of support systems. So, who are your support systems, and what role has that played in your success thus far?
I would say you and Dad. Then I would say Keion, and then the friends I began to make at the university. My current girlfriend.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's Brooklyn.
Shout out to
Brooklyn.
And then her parents as well.
Okay. That's awesome. That's awesome. So what advice would you give to people, first of all, who, let's say, who feel like they don't have support systems?
Mm-hmm.
Where would you suggest they go to seek some type of support?
Mm-hmm. I feel like you can start with the people around you. It is a good tell who you are as a person with the people you keep around you. So if you don't feel like you can speak to certain people, then it's really good to look into yourself and see who you are. And then once you realize that those people are good for you, then it's just a matter of kind of getting out of your pride, really, and humbling yourself and saying, hey, I'm dealing with this. Is there any way you can help me, or any challenges you've had that are similar to this?
What's your take on virtual mentors? Like, if you had to seek someone who's online, who's been successful, who's a motivational speaker, do you have anyone you would suggest that person to go to?
I like Eric Thomas. Is a great person. There are some great spiritual leaders. There's a couple. I don't consistently go to certain people. I kind of just search around the internet. But there's always different podcasts that you can look into that are faith-based. It's just you have to use your discernment based on if they're really right leaders for you.
You said that discernment.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. So if someone was interested in taking the theater track, what advice would you give to them?
I would say go for it and start as early as you can. I would encourage them to do your research on the benefits and the challenges from it, because it's not an everyday job. And then people will try to convince you out of it because they have worry about it and they have their own doubts, so they try to push that on you.
Right, and it's not an everyday job, so people are consumed by their own shortcomings.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely takes focus.
Yes,
definitely take focus. So if you had to do something differently, what would you do?
I wouldn't do anything differently. I'm glad I'm learning from the experience I've had. But I don't like to dwell on the past anymore. I think it's always great to appreciate the experiences you have.
Because there's a lesson in everything, right?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And rocket ships don't have rearview mirrors.
Okay. That's good. Shooting off like a rocket, you got to keep going forward. That's right. Keep moving forward. Good. Good stuff.
I've told you from day one. I don't know if you remember. I don't know that I remember with all these strokes and everything, but I told you from day one, Hollywood is waiting on you. That's before I even knew who you were, really. I just saw in him this passion for the arts,
Mm-hmm.
and Hollywood is waiting for you.
Yeah. Well, I can say that you have always been an entertainer. You've always been funny.
Mhm.
You've always been wanting to just show what you can do. So that's always been you. So what is your next focus? What is your next goal? What do you have planned next? Or what are you most looking forward to next?
I'm most looking forward to being really determined just on the goals I set, my personal goals I set for myself, because I don't plan on being in any shows next semester. So it's really about time management. And if I'm able to, well, not if I'm able to, but how I go about this next semester with not really having anything in line is going to reflect how it will be in the real world with me not knowing what's next, but just always building on my craft and improving the things that I need to improve, like my voice, with singing, dancing, and always working on new monologues and characters just in my own time. So it's really based on time management. I think that's the big thing for me next year.
Well, you have been doing an amazing job. I am super proud of you. Do you want to go through some of the things that you have done just so people can know a little bit more about your resume?
Okay. I was in a Broadway workshop with Keion Scott II with his new play. It was a music-based play. I'm trying to remember the name of it right now. But I was in a Broadway workshop recently, this last summer. I was an understudy for a professional role called The Brother Sides at Norfolk State University. And
the green and the gold.
And I was in another professional show at the Virginia Stage Company called The Three Musketeers. And I was a part of a show called Thoughts of a Colored Man, which was the most awarded collegiate show in America for the year 2022 or 23. But I was understudy at the time, and then I got the chance to perform lead at the International Black Theater Festival this summer.
Nice.
That's great. That's great. And the best is yet to come still. So again, we're proud of you. Any other questions for Derion?
Derion, what makes her the best mom ever?
She is very supportive, caring.
The reason why I asked that, I saw a video that you made.
What video?
You remember that video that I guess you and Keion made?
Oh, the song?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the song. Well, let him finish telling you. I'm very supportive. And what else? And what else?
Yeah. So we made a song on Mother's Day, and Keion produced it, and I rapped to it, and he sung.
And how old were you when you did it?
I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
So
maybe we'll play that at the end too.
Play that at the end.
And one of your monologues too. Yeah, monologues. Wait, keep telling them. I'm supportive, and what else?
Supportive, kind. You always talk about mental health.
Yes,
and
mental health. Yeah,
that's very important. Like self-affirmations, and just never speaking ill of yourself or other people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or other people.
Focus on what he is saying.
It has been a great show. Thank you so much for being our very special guest.
Yes.
This is a great way to come out of Thanksgiving. I am grateful for you.
Thank you.
I am looking forward to more entertainment, more success, more focus. When I see you on stage, I'll be like, that's my baby. So I'm looking forward to more of that.
Yes.
So again.
Oh, 1 second. The workshop was called, it was off of the Migration LP by Keion Scott II.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good. So I do have another question, because there are so many colleges, so many options. And I know with me being in the military, and the last place that you were with me was outside of Virginia, was Massachusetts. And at one point you were like the diversity. I thought it was going to be there, but not so much so. I don't think so. Like in one class, you was probably the only Black person at one point, right? But you always was confident. You didn't let any of that stop you. And I remember you won first place at one competition. I think you were in poetry, and you, I think, was the only Black kid in that, or something like that. So,
rise up.
Yeah. So, what would you attribute that confidence and that boldness to?
I just haven't seen anything less than that. I've always seen you and Dad do network marketing and be leaders in that. I've always seen Keion perform, Kyrie perform. I don't think there's really any bashful bone in either of my parents. So
yeah. So you were just born with that.
Yeah.
Real bold. Came out bold.
Yeah.
So that's great. Again, thank you for joining the Love Always Wins podcast. And we wish you continued success. And we'll continue to be there for you, love you, support you, and whatever you need.
And as we say on the show,
love always wins. You got to say it, Derion, on the count of 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Love always wins. All right. Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Derion Felton, and today I'll be presenting Doug Blood from August Wilson's Jitney. Thank you. No, Rita! People believe what they want to believe, what they set up in their mind to believe. I know what it looks like when I was going on a time and not bringing home any money. But you could have noticed that I was tired. You could have said, Darnell ain't talking too much because he's tired. You could have noticed I didn't act like somebody running the streets, that I didn't come home smelling like alcohol and perfume, that I didn't dress like somebody running the streets. If you had thought it all the way through, you would have noticed how excited I was when I got the UPS job. How I asked you if I could take it. You would have noticed how I was planning things. That I wasn't sitting around drinking beer and playing cards. How I would get up early on Sunday and go out to the airport to try to make a few extra dollars before the Jitney station opened. But you ain't seen all that. You ain't seen the new Darnell. You're still working off your memory. But the past is over and done with. I'm thinking about the future. You ain't the only one who thinks about Jesse. That's why I'm trying to do something different. That's why I'm trying to buy a house. Maybe I should have told you about the house. Maybe I did do it wrong. But I've done it. I tried to show you I loved you. What did I get for it? Thank you.
They crumble, the bottom may tumble, they're only made of clay. But our love is here